younger then. I was so much younger then too, wasn't I? So. I should mention that I spoke to my dad recently, and you know the. Yes, I did actually. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that. Yes, I did speak to my dad recently, and he told me not. And you know, I'm being heckled by a dog, which is, I know it's a heckle, because it's actually my dog that's heckling me. My dad told me an old wives' tale, and there's the old wives' tale. The most popular one is every time I don't believe in fairies, a fairy dies. Oh, there goes another one. But the one he told me was every time you tell a pun, but your hair dies. Well, that's me well and truly fucked then. And as a member of the Bald Person Society, I'm fucking jealous of Travis right now. But I can't help it, because to me, the best jokes in life are a bit like the Invisible Man having a wank. They just come out of nowhere. And yes, I have to admit, I am balding. In fact, I use a special shampoo now, it's called White Bother. And actually auditioned, because like him, I'm an actor as well, and I once auditioned for a L'Oreal advert, but no one accept my audition tape, because it's worthless. But, it's the first time I've been to the Hobbit, so I should probably introduce myself. My name is Richard, and it's annoying because normally when I say my name, a certain 4-letter word comes to mind. I know you're thinking of this word right now. A certain 4-letter word that has the letters D, I, and K in it. Yeah, you guessed it. That word is, of course, kind. And I should also mention that I have Asperger's, or as I've heard some people mispronounce it, say Asperger's. Asperger's, this guy's got Asperger's. Usually American people say, oh, he's got Asperger's. Let me emphasize the difference between those two. Asperger's is considered a form of autism. Asperger's is a new and interesting sexual position. Don't Google that. But as I mentioned before, Asperger's is a form of autism. Now, I don't need to mention this, but I just thought I should mention it so you feel guilty every time you don't laugh at any of my jokes tonight. So there we go. And, yes, what else can I tell you about myself? Well, I was born in the 1989. And before 1989, it's interesting when people say, like, hey Rich, do you remember the 80s? Do you remember the 80s? Oh, Rich, you gotta remember the 80s. Yes, considering I was a sperm for most of it, I have very fond memories of the 80s. In fact, you literally say I came from the 80s, there we go. So. I do think about my family, I do. I mean, I'm curious about my family tree as well, and my ancestors now. I once asked my mum, can you tell me about my forefathers? And she said, sure, when she met all four of them, she was knackered at the end of the night. And also, but I got more information from my dad. Actually, I found out that my dad worked in a prison. I asked him, oh, cool, what did you do? 25 years. And he also, he told me we once had an antisocial, but we don't talk much. And she actually told me, it's interesting in Southampton as well, because nearby in Portsmouth, I actually had family that used to work as sailors there. So I'm proud to say right now, in the Hobbit pub in Southampton, I've got a lot of seamen behind me. And if the beanie and if the Welsh rugby top and the Welsh dragon mask and flag doesn't say it much clearer, I am actually from Wales. And thank you. And yes, and I thought, I get annoyed because when I talk about being Welsh, from Wales, most people seem to view the Welsh as sheep shaggers. And let me tell you, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. It's not all about the sex. In fact, I knew a sheep once, and they were some of the most romantic moments of my life. Yeah. We had barely any problems, we didn't. We had, we remember some of the films we used to watch together, like, what was there? It was Sheepless in Seattle, Meet the Flockers, and of course, my favourites, the Land Before Time as well, Rambo. My personal favourite is the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. But it wasn't a bad relationship, but sadly it all went downhill when we watched Silence of the Lambs together. We didn't talk after that. And before we know it, she went off with a guy called Alan Shearer. Bastard. But I still think about it when I think about the songs that our favourite song we used to listen to. Everything I do it for you. But also, I thought I should bring a bit of culture here, being from Wales. I thought I'd bring a bit of the Welsh language here, because I think it might be useful, because sometimes the Welsh language, some Welsh words sound more beautiful than their English counterparts, I find. For instance, rubbish, that doesn't sound like a fun word, is it? Rubbish. Whereas if you hear the translation of that, the translation of rubbish is spurial. Spurial. That sounds like an extra from Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? Over here, Frodo, here is Lord Spurial from the House of Elrond. I thought he was Legolas, Gandalf. For the amount of wine he's drinking, he probably is. But I'm gonna, and also for instance, the Welsh word for peach is Eiron Gwlanog. But if you literally translate it, it actually translates as woolly plums. Insert innuendo.